case my shenanigans weren't properly cemented in history by the gossiping all the nuns did after it occurred, I've seen it. It's in the number 2 spot on my list of things I hope to never experience again. I often wondered what it would be like for us, if Knuckles or Higgs saw me possessed and found out Coop was a demon. Worse, what if a client at Inkerbelle's witnessed me in full-on possession? The very thought made me shudder. Today, as we sat outside on this warm day in late August, on my tiny deck located right off my bedroom in the guest house we rented from our friend Knuckles, I tried to help Jeff jog his memory. Knuckles remains one of the best things to happen to myself and my demon friend Coop since I'd left the coven. I inhaled the scents of his luscious garden and tried to set aside all the bad things that could happen if we didn't check every box and focus on this mystery message from hell. My eyes zoomed in on the last of the season's beautiful blue and purple hydrangeas lining the cedar fencing, which Knuckles so lovingly tended, and I thought pleasant thoughts. Since we'd moved into the guest house behind Knuckles' main house and we'd opened Inkerbelle's tattoos and piercings, things had become exponentially better. We'd found our home here in Cobbler Cove, Oregon. We had a semblance of normalcy these days. We had friends. We had a very small profit in just under a month, mostly thanks to Knuckles and his grizzled tattoo artist friend Goose. We were thriving both mentally and physically, all of us, even Livingston, as much as he hated to admit it. We did normal things like have dinner at 7 every night unless the shop was open late. We watched television with Knuckles and sometimes Higgs and Jeff, all piled together on the couch here in the guest house with popcorn or the snack du jour. We went for long walks with Jeff and Higgs when the sun began to set and it was cool enough. We laughed, we talked, we joked, and then we got back up and we did it all over again the next day. And it was bliss. We'd grown so used to merely getting through each day after I'd been booted from the convent, we'd forgotten the simple pleasures of a routine. Now, if we could just rid me of this thing inside me, release me from its greasy black clutches, everything would be perfect. Which brings me back to my current dilemma. How to get Jeff to remember the message from hell. Clapping my hands on my thighs, I clenched my fists and inhaled, exhaling with determination. So, from the beginning, Jeff, you escaped through the same portal that Coop and Livingston escaped through, correct? He panted, running in a circle as he tried to catch his tail, and said, "Mm-hmm." Then he stopped and looked up at me, the morning glare of sunlight making his sweet face particularly adorable. "Why the heck do I do that? Logically, I know I'm never going to catch my tail, but I can't stop," he complained in his squeaky voice as he made another dizzying circle. I scooped him up and sat him on my lap, stroking his spine to relax him. There was nothing Jeff liked more than a good massage. Instantly, his body became less rigid as he leaned into me. "Better?" I asked, as Coop plopped down in the chair next to mine, Livingston, my favorite sassy owl, on her arm. "Much," he crooned with a rippling shudder that ran from his head to his hind legs. "So, from the beginning—" "Aye, lass, not again." Livingston scoffed his disapproval in his light Irish accent. "I don't think I can do it one more time without losing my ever-loving mind." Coop put a finger on Livingston's beak to quiet his complaining, something he does often, by the way. "You're being rude, Quigley Livingston. It's important we let Jeff share his journey." Livingston flapped his gray and white feathers, letting the warm breeze catch them. "His journey? This isn't Oprah for the love of leprechauns. Let's not romanticize it as though he found himself at the infamous fork in the road, Coopy. He made a mess of everything when he escaped hell. That's no journey, lass. That's a bloody road trip gone sideways. And now he's somebody's pet. What's left to go on about?" I poked Livingston in his round belly, filled with far too many Swedish fish, using a gentle finger. "Technically, you're somebody's pet, buddy. Glass houses and all," I teased, trailing my finger over his beak. Yes, and I have the gilded cage to prove it. But I don't spend every waking hour telling you about my journey. Besides that, the poor lad says the same thing every blinking time. Nothing changes. I don't know how much more I can stand." I leaned over and dropped an indulgent kiss on Livingston's round head. "Then close your ears, Mouthy McMouth."